Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. I am so happy to be back just doing a regular speed build outside of our scenarios homes series. It was fun and I enjoyed doing it. I will be finishing up with the Too Many Toddlers one very shortly, but I really wanted to get on the bandwagon, as they say, of building some ranch homes and getting ready for the new horse pack, so I hope everybody is excited. I will openly admit I was not too excited at first. Like, I didn't mind it. I'm always down for new content, but it wasn't something I was sitting here going, oh my gosh, I really hope they give us horses. Like, we need horses. You know, that wasn't me. It wasn't on my priority list as far as something I would want for the game, but I am always open for new content, new animals, especially to add to the farming ability that we got with cottage living, because I really enjoyed that and I still play that quite often. Almost all my Sims have chickens and bees and cows and llamas. It's funny, they're all farmers. They do something else, but they're also farmers on the side. It's funny. I don't know, I guess that's just my sort of gameplay. But anyway, so I wanted to jump on that bandwagon and get a ranch built. So here we are approaching that now. I tried to just make kind of like a classic farmhouse, at least that I have seen. Like, this is something I see in my area a lot. There's like a kind of like a half porch, a small upper floor, and a nice big side and backyard. And I think that it makes a lot of sense for this because you'd want a lot of room for your animals and a lot of room for different activities on the farm, like eventually when we get to the nectar making that we're getting with the new pack, or making candles. If you use the bee box to collect wax, you can make candles, or if you have soybean plants, you collect the soy wax. There's so many things you can do now already with the packs that are currently out. Oh my gosh, once we get this other one, I don't know what I'm going to do. There's going to be so much. There's just so many decisions. It's like, sometimes it's good to have this many packs, and sometimes it's a little overwhelming. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle of, am I excited, or is this just too much for me? No, I think I'm very, very excited. I'm able to compartmentalize. So I'll have one rancher family and maybe a few other farmer families. But this is the basic shape of the outside of the house. I do go back and change a bunch of different colors, and I play around with like the whole color scheme basically. And I think I change everything to more like a light, warm, woodish tone, as far as like the railings and the stairs are concerned. And then the roof, I think, ends up being like a metal roof, and on top, okay, metal roof on top, that's right. And on the bottom is like those scallop shingles that I love so much, and I always use them. So I had to use them for this. Here you see me messing around with the roof to get it around that little chimney piece, because I still wanted it to overlap just slightly. I didn't want it to cut into the chimney, because to me that doesn't make any sense. Here I am finally starting on like the basic shape, or not the basic shape, the basic colors of the home. So I didn't want to use the cottage living fence for the front porch. I wanted that to be a little bit more ornate, but for the area where all the animals were going to be, I wanted to use that fence. So that's here now, and I'm making a cute little barn. So this is what I expect will be like the horse barn / storage area for like hay and other farm animal related goods. There's also going to be a little shed on the side of the large garden patch, but we will get there when we get there, because this is a long video today. If you are here and you're going to be here for the long haul, I appreciate you. If not, I have included some timestamps into this video, so you can kind of jump around. If you're more interested in a certain area of the build than another, then at least you can kind of get the bullet points. Or if you just want to take a look at the very end result and look at the screenshots, totally fine, totally up to you. I get it, we're all busy, and this is, like I said, this is a long video. Oh, I can't believe it. It's over 45 minutes long. Well, let's just keep on rolling and try not to get too distracted. So this is the farm area. I have the cow / llama shed right there, as you see. I'm placing some trash cans, and I also have the chicken coop over there to the side. And here I am placing down a whole bunch of these oversized crop plots. And I do move them around quite a bit because I throw in these sprinklers that came with seasons, and I put in enough sprinklers and enough plots that everything is covered. So if the sprinklers are on, everything will be watered, and if you have them quote unquote programmed, they will just come on, water the plants, and then be done. So that's that. I put the bees in with the chickens and the cow shed because I didn't want them too close to the garden area, only because if your sim is gardening and the bees are right there, the bees will constantly attack them, and I find it so annoying. So I tried to kind of move them far enough away that they wouldn't be annoying, but close enough that they would, not be too far from the garden. Not that that really matters because it's the Sims. I mean, they'll get there. They just kind of teleport. But either way, I wanted to make sure that we had bees for the plants, and then the chickens also help with gardening if you let them roam outside the fence, which is totally fine. So I think that is a nice little system. You can have all kinds of garden help. And over here we are making a cute little pond, and I use the flatten to height tool for the very edge of the pond so that, like, say your Sims children, they can go in and just play in the water and look for frogs and have fun that way. I always think that's a really cute interaction, and I've done that before in another build. I think it was in the Plant-A-Sim scenario home, which was also a cottage in Henford on Bagley. Also, this is in Henford on Bagley, in case I did not mention it. It's at 2 Old Mill Lane. Sorry. I was just so excited to record the voiceover, and it's a long one, so I was like, I'm prepared now, let's go. I totally forgot to cover the basics, like where it is and what it's called. I do not have a total for you as far as what this costs in simoleons, because I did not make note of it, apparently. I thought I did, but I did not. So, we're just going with the flow. But I will pop it up here on the screen with a bunch of the other info while I'm doing that pond so that you can, so you can see for yourself. And I'll also put it in the description box down below if you're curious. So here, moving back to the house, we have a very cute front porch. The columns are from Seasons, and like the bottom foundation paint is also from Seasons, although the river rock, I really like that. These floorboards are cottage living. And I'm just going to be fooling around with the colors here in the front for a second, like the shades of wood, because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't know if I wanted to change the spandrels. I really do like this one. I think it's from, what is the spandrel from? I can't quite remember. It just played over top of it. I think it's from Vampires, honestly. Oh, excuse me. Whew. So sorry, I'm not going to edit this out, so this is a one and go. I'm going to try really hard not to yawn again. My apologies. But I think the spandrel is from Vampires, and I use that one a lot because I think it's really cute. But then I ended up changing it to this one from Growing Together. It is a craftsman style, but I really enjoyed it. And the railing on the stairs and the fence on the deck is from Seasons as well. And here you'll see me get rid of the windows and doors, just completely scrap them. I go with the windows and the door from Strangerville. That's what that is. Couldn't remember what that icon was. My brain is a little fried today. It's awfully hot where I am, so I just can't function when it gets hot. My body does not do well in the heat. But over there you saw I placed those 3 kind of jutting out bay window areas, and I end up using that. That's where the kitchen is going to be. I use that for a whole bunch of plants, and I think it looks so cool. And you can always add more, but I just didn't want to overdo it too much for people who are downloading this off the gallery. I didn't want it to completely lag out your game and take forever to load, because I know there's already so much on this property. I didn't want to overdo it on the inside if I could avoid it. So here's our little entryway here. I just used some columns and 2 full walls on each side and a half wall in between. And then over here in this corner, that's going to be an office. I do make it a tiny bit smaller. And the rest of it is going to be an open concept dining and living room area. And over there in the upper left corner is going to be a bathroom. So we are all set with that, and there's those stairs. I do end up taking them out and switching the orientation a little bit and making it more of like a walk around step situation. You'll see what I mean here in just a second. I pulled them off to the side and I just created the shape that I wanted. I wanted them a little bit more like this, and I think it looks nice. That little area behind the steps ends up getting closed off. In the end, I just kind of close off that whole rectangle. But if you wanted to use it for something, you could very well open up that little rectangle and use it for like a laundry room. If you wanted to add more work to your Sims load, that's totally fine. I just personally didn't do it because I thought, man, there's already enough to do on this ranch. I'm not going to make them do laundry too. And we are into the kitchen. I was really leaning into the farm vibe, so I did end up going with this red countertop, which I never use. This is also from Cottage Living. And I was liking the red. I was. I don't use it very often because I think it's a little much, more often than not, but I really liked it. I think it came out kind of cute. And like with the white crystal knobs on the cabinet doors and stuff, I think it was really cool. So over here in this little corner, we're going to have the stove. I started off going with the one from Cottage Living, but I ended up going with the one from the Country Kitchen kit. And then over here is a little 3-seater island with just some cute little bar stools, and I thought that was a cute little dinette for inside the kitchen. And here you see me cluttering up this window area with a bunch of plants. And then you'll also see me start diving in to using tool mod to raise them all up, because they kind of place inside that little black step where the window is. See how I kind of raise them up a little with the 9 key, but it doesn't raise them up quite enough, or it makes them look like they're floating. So I do use the tool mod to adjust the height of everything, make sure it lines up. And then of course, when I go back and because I use the platform tool to raise the kitchen up a little bit, just one little click, then I had to go back and do everything all over again. I'm pretty sure I cut that out of the video because I was like, I'm not going to show them this again. If they watch it once, good for them. I'm not going to make them do it again. So here I am attacking the lighting, and I just use these 3 hanging pendants. I think those are from Cottage Living. They're super cute. I love them, especially in this like greenish copper patina. I think it's so cool. And then in the kitchen we use this lovely tile. It is base game and it is gorgeous, and I love it very much. There you see me moving up the kitchen onto a platform, just one little click. And then I add the overhead cabinets, and I do kind of custom place them. Like I place them down on the middle tile and then just up twice with the 9 key, because I think that worked out the best. I didn't want them to be too high up that it was unreasonable, but not super low where it looks like your Sim's going to hit their head either. So, and then that corner piece just wasn't working. It was cutting into the window, so I just did another side piece, and I think that works really well. There's a trash can, don't worry, I did not forget. And then I get rid of this little counter over here, the little end piece, and I put a door. I did play test this, it does work. So they go under the overhead cabinet, through the door, and down 1 step into the bathroom. And I really like the way that this bathroom turned out. It's very cute. I didn't do anything super crazy or over the top, and you'll see in a second I will be cutting to the finished product because I didn't want to bore you with how long it took me just to do this bathroom. So here it is, basic shape, and ta-da, it's almost done. There's the walls, and I think I get rid of the overhead light and I just substitute it for a normal, what I call a normal bathroom light, like one of those little dome lights, just a normal bathroom light, Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, you saw me paint the outside of the house. I did that blue wood paneling. I thought it was really cute. The barn will end up being red, don't worry. And then here is our entryway. So we just have a little entryway table, coat rack, and an umbrella stand. And then I put in a mirror, which I think is the one, okay, it's this one. It's from Get Famous. I never use that one, but I really, really like the scroll work on it, and I thought it would be really pretty next to this door from Strangerville that has the stained glass. I thought that it would kind of go well with that like fancy but simple vibe. That's kind of what I was going for, I guess. And I just size up this rug a little bit and I changed the swatch on it. I really like that big circular rug. It reminds me of a rug my grandmother had under her dining room table, and I used to run around the very edge of it and act like that was like the edge of a pond and in the middle was water. I don't know. It's funny. It's funny how things remind you of real life. Anywho, over to the office space. So I could not think of what kind of desk I wanted to use, and I spent entirely too long looking for a desk. But I picked this one. It is unlocked with the writer career, I believe, and that computer is from Cottage Living. It looks like a typewriter. It is actually a computer. And then the cats and dogs bookshelf here, I just thought worked really nicely. So it's kind of a mixture of wood tones. It's the white wood tone from the desk, and then the beigey, honey-toned wood on the door and the bookshelf. But I think it all works really well. I also threw in an easel over here, just, if she wanted to do something, or if your sim wants to do something creative, or maybe her husband is into something, or her partner, maybe her kids are into something. That's just my idea. I did not have a family in mind for this, but the home, before I forget, it's for 2 parent sims or 1 single parent sim, that's totally fine, and 1 child and 1 toddler, and they share a bedroom. So it's very cute. When we get upstairs, you will see they have a whole upstairs play area separate from their room. And then the parents' room leads right into like their own private bathroom, their primary suite bathroom. And then the other bathroom is definitely just for kids. It has like kids' towels and the kids' toothbrush holder and the little bathroom rug. And it's just very cute. I really enjoyed that. It was really fun. So over here is our combined living dining area. I have the fireplace because we do have the chimney. So I figured somewhere we needed to have the fireplace, because why else have a chimney if you don't have a fireplace? So right here is the fireplace, and I put this standing TV on top of the mantle using tool mod to just lower it down a smidge. And then I'm going through some end tables to pick this little console table over here to the side. I think I end up putting like a light and a plant, this typical decorations for a living room. I tried to keep it pretty simple. I didn't want to overly clutter it too much because I want you to be able to move your Sims in and just tell your own story with it. So I put in some basics, but I did not overdo it by any means. Also, I knew that this build was going to be long enough, and I was going to be spending so much time, what load of time on the landscaping and the animal areas and just everything else. So I was saving myself the trouble and also giving you guys some more creative, freedom to do what you want, because this is going to be your home if you download it off the gallery. By the way, my gallery ID is MissChrisBuilds, same as my channel name, and also my Instagram. So keep an eye out for those. Like and subscribe on all those things if you want to, because I really appreciate it. Anywho, again, I keep saying that. It's like on my mind today. Anyway. Here we are, finally doing the wallpaper. It actually took me a lot longer than it looks like it did, because, the magic of editing. So, it took me a really long time to figure out what I wanted to do. I knew that I wanted this brick accent wall back here, where the fireplace is, because that just made the most sense to me, and then around the steps. Maybe that was like the old part of the farmhouse. And then when they went to renovate it, they kept that wall intact because it was in really good shape, and that's where the fireplace was, and they didn't want to remove that and have to remove the whole fireplace with it. So they kept that, and then they redid the rest of the walls and plastered them up really nice. So that is the idea there. Here, at the top of the stairs, you saw I was just kind of making sure I had the railing in place. This is the kids/toddlers shared bedroom. I went with this bed frame, the bunk bed frame from Dream Home Decorator, and then the little toddler bed is actually base game. It's the converted toddler bed from the crib, and I really like it because the wood tones match super cute. Over here, that's actually like a little kids dresser, and I thought it would look really nice at the foot of the bed. It almost looks like steps to get up into the bunk bed, which would be so cool if we could do that. If they had a bunk bed that had like those little stairs on the side with drawers in them. Oh, imagine how cute that would be. Anyway, sorry, me dreaming. And we are back. So let's get into the rest of the build here. That was just the basics of the kids' room. I wanted to get that done, and then I had to come back later because that was like after my kids' nap or something. I work on a very strange time frame. But here is the outside of the build. So I went with these windows. All the windows on this place I think are from Strangerville. Except when we get to the barn, I use windows from Base Game and cottage living, that's right. And then with the shed, I think I use Jungle Adventure windows because they're kind of just like hole in the wall kind of windows. They don't have glass in them, which I enjoyed for the shed purpose. Over here we have just a little sitting area out on the deck, just a little tiny wicker couch and that cute little gnome holding a lantern because that's adorable, and how could I not? And then over in the entryway, I think I put in the not really a flower arranging table from Cottage Living, and a few other just little decorations. That wheelbarrow actually goes back down to like where the steps are, and I moved that down in a second, but I put these flower boxes here in the bright yellow. I thought it was really cute, and I enjoyed that very much. I think I also, what else do I do out here? Okay, I put the faux flower arranging table, and I do end up putting some plants like on top of it. That little shelf with the stuff hanging off of it, and the watering can, and that dining area there. And I think also off camera I added a chess table because I just wanted to make sure there was a chess table somewhere on the lot. It's always a good thing to have in The Sims, so I knew that we had to do it. I put it on the front porch, and I think it's the one from Outdoor Retreat, if I remember correctly. So up here is our kids' playing area. They have a cute little Victorian dollhouse. They have a toy box. I put down this blanket from the little campers kit, which is super cute. I think I also used the pillow from that kit. It should be popping up any minute. And I think I pull out the little bookshelf here from Growing Together, and I do use Tool Mod to lower it down. So it very well might not be functional at all, but I just didn't like any of the other bookshelves I was seeing, and I thought this one, just being on the wall like that, was super cute. I moved it a few times, so I had to keep re-lowering it with Tool Mod, but we don't worry about that here. There's that pillow from the Tiny Campers kit as well, and then I threw in this cute little llama, because why not? Back into the kids' room. So I put a little desk over in the corner, and for a while I couldn't decide which one, but I went with I think I ended up going with the Brohill desk, this one, the mini desk. I thought it was super, super adorable and practical for this space. And I thought about putting the activity table right next to this desk, but it just looked too cramped, so ended up moving it out to where the play area is right here. And then I just moved the llama and the pillow and tried to make it make a little bit more sense. And I think that it worked out pretty well. I kept this room is very pink. It's very pink and also very neutral. And then up here I put some cute little pictures. I think those come from Parenthood. No, Toddler Room. Oh, I forget. Parenthood or Toddler Room stuff. One of them. So that was like the top bunk is the older daughter's or older child's bunk. So I thought that it would be nice to put those pictures up there. Like those are her friends. That's her little area. And maybe that little flower pot thing is something that she made in school, or something her sister made, or her sibling made. It could be a boy or a girl. You can always change the color scheme of this room, by the way. So it could be for anybody. But what I envisioned was 2 daughters. That's why I keep saying she. I know, I didn't clarify. My bad. Anyway, working back. So the room's very pink. It's very girly. It's for 2 daughters. I use these adorable, over the top in my opinion, but so cute, bohemian style curtains from the High School Years pack. And it's got a pink rug. There's a pink mirror. There's a pink bed. There's a pink chair. There's pink everything. And then the little bed is blue, just because maybe this daughter prefers the color blue, and that's totally okay. Put a little nightlight there on the dresser. I ended up moving it to that cube kids dresser thing over there eventually, but for now it's on the big sister's dresser. And that little mushroom lamp is adorable, and I don't use it enough, but it works so well as a desk light, especially if you're building on a farm. I mean, come on, mushrooms. There's mushrooms everywhere. I love it. So there is our little over-the-head pendant light hanging from the ceiling, and that is pretty much it for this room. I think I clutter it up a little bit more with just some paintings and that little wall decal. I imagine that being like a height chart, and then this little assemblage of crochet items up on the wall. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, and a little rug here too. I put a little rug down at the side of the bed for the toddler to get out, and that's it. And then I think I was working on the hallway now. I just put a nice little light from Base Game on that end table there, and I replaced the overhead light with the one from Cottage Living, which is the same I used in the office downstairs, and no, not the office. Was it the office? It might have been, no, the entryway downstairs. The office, I used that other hanging pendant, the shorter one. That's right. Over here are 2 upstairs bathrooms. They're pretty much the same in some respects. I do end up replacing both sinks with the Cottage Living sink in all white. This one has gold fixtures on it, and then I think the one in this bathroom does not. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on it, because I don't quite remember. This was only a few days ago, but my brain is completely shot. So, welcome to being a parent. Yes, I did. I used the same exact sink with the gold fixtures because I used the same mirror. That makes a lot of sense. Good job, me. Anywho, over here we have the little hanging kids' towels on those pegs, which I think is just so practical. And I gave everybody a little hand towel in each of their bathrooms on the side of the sink. And then I think I gave the parents these nice, neat, adorable hanging towels, and also this shelf here that I put the little stack of folded face towels and bar soap, and then the little assembly of bath salts and, bubble bath and all that. And I just put it with the tool mod. I used it. Actually, I don't think I used tool mod. I just used the red OMSP shelf to place them nicely, and I think that's it. Now, they do kind of float when you put the walls down, but that doesn't really bother me if something's right up against the wall and doesn't really get in the way, so hopefully it doesn't bother you either. Here is the parents' bedroom now. We are about halfway, maybe a little bit more than halfway through, so thanks if you have stuck by this long, and I know it's a long one, so I appreciate even if you watch in little bits and pieces throughout your day. I mean, I do that with a lot of my longer videos of simmers that I watch, so. But anyway, good job. Pat on the back from me to you. Here's the parents' room. It's pretty simple. So the corner you just saw me put down the dresser from Growing Together and also the mirror. That's going to be like Dad's section because there's going to be men's cologne on top of the dresser. That's his little area. He's going to have his dresser, his stand-up mirror, and his cologne. Good to go. This over here I envision being Mom's area, or whatever equivalent you use. You know what I mean? I up to you. Completely up to you. That's the glory of Sims. You can make it any way you want it. But that's Mom's area. So she has the vanity and the tall dresser. And I picked this wallpaper here with the blue wood paneling on the bottom and just the very subtle blue flower wallpaper. I thought it was super cute. I like these curtains from, I think that's from Cats and Dogs, yes. So I just size them down ever so slightly, and then I use with the bracket key, the right bracket key, and then I use tool mod to lower them down slightly because they are actually very, very tall, or they place high up on the wall. And I even have medium wall height on, so I think that's so strange. But either way, it's fine, it's fine. And then I think I just clutter everything up. Yes, so here is some makeup and face cream. Oh my god, excuse me, I'm so sorry for the yawning all the time. And then what I did was I placed that other tray of makeup and perfume and such. And I use these poles. They're actually like the light poles from the toddler stuff pack. They use to connect the lights to, and I put them all around all the areas that I wanted the accessories that I was putting on the vanity to be, and then I used the red OMSP shelf and I just placed everything where I wanted it and removed the poles, and it worked out really nice. And yeah, that took a long time to explain. In a roundabout way, I just mapped out where the edge of the furniture was, so I knew where to put the clutter. Wow, my brain is so fried, you guys. It's insane. I'm so tired. I'm so hot. I can't. Here is the little paintings I put up on the wall, are just of leaves. I was getting kind of lazy with the decorating at this point, but don't worry. The rest of it does look very nice. I just had to take a break, which is fine, because at that point I had to go to bed anyway. It's funny because I'm watching this and I remember my mindset when I was doing this. And that's pretty much it. I think I just put up a few more pictures. There's 3 pairs on the wall for no apparent reason. There's also a tiny pair stand-up picture on the mom's dresser. I don't know if you caught that, but yep. Again, no apparent reason. I said, yep, that works. That totally fits. Why not? Pairs. Sure. Then there's a little stack of clothes on top of Dad's dresser. And here we are jumping in to landscaping and path making. This one was hard because there were so many like entrances of things on this farm, on this property. So I really was trying to keep it kind of like flowy and organic and effortless, and it's not effortless, but it ends up looking that way. I think it looks really, really nice in the end. In the back there, where there are like no windows on that back wall, that will be like the kids' treehouse area and, you know, swing set area and play area. So it's going to be blocked off anyway. So I didn't bother having to shove windows in there because it's all empty space. And I didn't want it to be unnecessary, you know. And over here we are doing the terrain paint for the animal areas. I think just a little bit of dirt sporadically placed in like little clumps makes a lot of sense because, you know, animals have like their own little set paths when they're on a farm. They kind of make their own route during the day, and a lot of them tend to stick to the same route that they enjoy. So that works out, especially the cows in cottage living. They kind of just stay in their little rectangle area. So you know exactly where the ground is going to be for that. Now horses that are coming out in the horse ranch pack, they're going to be able to go anywhere. I don't know what to expect. I saw the gameplay trailer because that was yesterday. Today is the 7th, so yesterday I watched the gameplay trailer and I rewatched it and rewatched it and rewatched it. And I also watched a bunch of my favorite simmers reaction videos to it. I'm excited. I'm also kind of nervous with how everything is going to react with other game packs, but I'm mostly just excited. Undoubtedly there will be some interesting bugs. Can't wait for that. But, you know, nothing is perfect, and we will get through it together. Here I am magically poofing us into the future with our landscaping all finished. It is a big overgrown mess in the front, but I think it's a pretty overgrown mess. So it works out pretty well. And I just threw in some low-lying flowers and some rocks also, and then here you will see me doing my trick that I used, I think, in my Craftsman family home a few months ago. And I took some rocks from what is that pack? Oh, Eco Lifestyle. Wow, cannot speak, words, mouth not working. And I just repeated them over and over again. I sized them down as much as I could, and then I took the tool mod and sized them down to the appropriate size, which is 0.075 apparently, in case you were wondering. And then I used them as a little path outline, and I think that it looks super cute. I'm very happy with it. If you wanted to do it yourself, now you know how. Yay! Glad I could share that with you today. Those low-lying flowers in the front there are the purplish white ones. They are from Werewolves, by the way. Werewolves Debug, actually. All the plants here are from Debug. I did not use a single regular plant from the Build By catalog because that was my way of trying to save simoleons. I use a lot of Debug in this, actually. Especially for the horse area, which you'll see later, because you'll see it in the screenshots, actually. I think I did the actual outfitting of the horse area off camera, because I didn't think of it till after I had already finished the recording and the screenshots and everything. Oh no, I retook the screenshots. Anyway, you'll see it in the screenshots, but when I do the horse area, I end up outfitting the outside more. With some debug items to make it look like they have like a little barrel racing setup and a little jump setup, which you will see in the slideshow. So stick around for that or jump to that if you are curious. It is really cool. I think it looks really cool considering I don't have the pack yet, and I'm just kind of going off assumption and watching gameplay trailers and looking at the list of items that we were going to be getting and just kind of using my imagination with debug. You know, debug is a lot of fun, though. You could probably do even more, way more than I did. But if you wanted to do that while you're waiting and getting ready, totally fine. Or you just download the house and you save it to your library, and then as soon as you get the pack, as soon as it comes out, whatever comes first, you can just hop right in, place the house, build a family, you're done. I think it's kind of cool. So over here is our little garden shed next to our overgrown vegetable and fruit plots. Just a cute little box, nothing crazy. And then I think I use, here we go, these are from Jungle Adventure, these windows. and I use the one with the shutter on either side here, and in the back I just use the plain white square. I think I used 3 of them, and I just kind of piece them together. And inside is just the starboard siding, which only comes in 1 swatch, and the ground I think is from the Greenhouse Haven kit. I use a lot of Greenhouse Haven kit in this, because when else am I going to use that to decorate a shed all the time? No, because I love that kit and I find myself using it a lot. That is my reason, because I'm not going to tell you a lie. I just love that kit. It's really good. I love it. Look at this. Look how cool this is. It honestly, to me, it looks like CC. I still can't believe it's not CC. That table, come on. Anywho, we're walking into the shed. Here are some little pieces. I used the tool mod to raise them up a little bit, because again, the 09 key just weren't raising them up high enough for me, or they were making them still halfway sunken into the table, and I did not like that. I did not like that one bit. And here I'm just placing some more little clutter, some more pots. Always could use more planting pots. I love it very much. Tool mod to the rescue. I think the only thing that I do, oh no, there is one functional item in this shed, and it is the actual flower arranging table from Seasons. So there is something to do in the shed other than just to walk in and look at things. So there you go. I had to make sure there was something in here. I thought, well, I already have the fake flower arranging table. I should probably just like get an actual flower arranging table so that your sim has something to do, right? It just made sense to me. So you'll see that right around here. I'm putting down some buckets, and here is our flower arranging table. Over here I use this cute blue tone, and I put one little cute shuttered window over that and a little metal roofed awning on top of that, and I think that it works really well with the shape of this little tiny shed. I changed the roof also. I didn't like how the gabled roof looked, so I just changed the shape of that roof. And here I am placing those trees in place of those 3 flower pots. Those were just kind of like placeholders so that I knew that I wanted to put trees there. I think I did a cherry, a lemon, and an apple tree, if I recall correctly. And now you'll see me just arranging some rocks and some plants and some more tall grass all around, because I wanted to make sure that this place was nice and filled in with lots of greenery. And up there you'll see in the plant stand, the selling table over there, I put some cute cobblestone terrain paint. Over here are some benches in front of the pond, and I put this cute little birch tree size down, also from Debug, in between, and this light on top of the bench with the flower pot. That came with Cottage Living also, and I think it's super adorable. I use that a lot in my own personal builds as well. Also, these clumps of grass from Cottage Living Debug are a game changer as far as landscaping is concerned, because if you want something to look overgrown but you don't want to throw in really tall pieces of grass, you just throw in a bunch of those little itty bitty clumps and it just looks so nice. I love it. There's that Debug tractor. I did move it over in front of that tree. It kind of blocks off the view. It gives a little bit of privacy from the not road to the rest of the farm. And then over here is going to be our kids' play area. So there's that very, very large treehouse setup. And don't worry, I did playtest this. My playtester sim was able to easily get to it and build it. The child was able to play in it. You can still upgrade it with the slide and the sliding pole. It all works. So it is very good. And that little hanging swing, the trellisy looking swing over there, is from the Little Campers kit. I love it. I use that a lot too. I actually use that in a lot of adults' houses too, just because it's a cute little outdoor seating area. And here we are back to the kitchen. I'm cluttering up. So the rest of this video will pretty much be like miscellaneous clutter and just making sure that I have everything where I want it, because I didn't have time to really clutter it the way I wanted to at the time, so I had to come back later. Sorry about that. My camera went a little wonky. I thought I had edited that out. Apparently, I did not. There is a little lamp right there in the corner, and here's a bread box, and also the casserole dish. I think that came with the Country Kitchen kit, I believe. I think the bread box and the casserole dish may have come with the Country Kitchen kit. If I don't, I think. Don't quote me on it. It came with one of those. There's a little red dish rack to match the red cabinets and countertops or counters. And then a little kind of brownish mat to go in front of the sink area. Over here on the stove, I think I put just this little tea kettle from the cottage living pack, and then this base game pitcher of spoons and such. I put it on top of the stove itself, but then when I put those herbs there right above, like kind of built into the stove, I thought that it kind of looked silly and overcrowded, so move that over instead. And there's a cute little wall-mounted knife rack. I thought that made a lot of sense. Little baskets on top of the console table in there, and cluttering up these bathrooms with soap and toothpaste and bath mat in the case of the kids' bathroom. I thought I was going to use this one for under the sink and also the toilet one, but I thought both of them next to each other was too much, so I got rid of the one in front of the sink. Also cluttering up the hallway with more plants, because we always need more plants. And then I think we are moving over to this wall here. I just decorated it with this little gallery wall piece from Growing Together. It is probably my new favorite piece to use. I use that all the time. And then over into the farm area, we are getting started on the animal shed, or the horse shed, I guess. I guess it's considered a horse shed, is it not? I put a little kind of outdoor sink. I think that's from Laundry Day. And the outdoor hose I actually removed from this building because there's already one built into this sink, and I didn't think it made sense to use both. More debug buckets and such things. Up here I make a little loft. It's the stereotypical hayloft. I put a ladder in there as well, and then I end up throwing up a bunch of hay up there. This long hanging pendant light I really liked, and I kind of was hoping it would light up down below also, since there's no floor, but it didn't really cut it for me, so I end up getting rid of that in the end, and I just put more lighting down here. So there's some milk jugs, also from Debug, and these are those cottage living windows I was talking about. I think they're really, really pretty, and I like them very much. I like that you can kind of open them, like if you're mucking up the stable, you can like open the windows, make sure that you get enough air in there, it's not all dusty and gross. But you can also close them if it's inclement weather. I don't know, it made sense to me. And then I use these little fencing pieces to kind of make a makeshift stall, and it gave me a little bit of trouble. I kind of wish I would have made the barn a little bigger, but at this point I'd already committed to the size of it, and I wasn't willing to change that, so that's me being stubborn. What I did was I actually ended up angling that middle piece you see there ever so slightly, and just moving it over a little, so there's just like a tiny little opening, and I assume that it kind of like folds in on itself, you know what I mean, like you can kind of push it in to open it the rest of the way for the horse to get in. I use the same siding, the starboard siding in here that I used in the garden shed area, and that is pretty much how I mapped out the floor plan, I guess you'd call it, for this. I put a little hanging light bulb over in that corner as well, and then I thought, I probably shouldn't do a hanging light bulb over the horse's area, because what if the horse gets excited and starts, getting all giddy, and I don't want them to hit the light up top, and also they shouldn't have super huge windows in their area because they might try to jump out of the windows. So I put just teeny tiny little crankouts up top there, and I thought that made more sense. Up here is that circular hay bale, all from Debug, and also those square ones. I do end up putting a hay bale seat, which we actually got with Cottage Living. It's an actual item, so it costs money, but your sim can sit on it. So I put the little seat up there in the hayloft in case your sim wants to go read a book or something up there by themselves. Maybe they enjoy hanging out near the horse and they just want to read a little book. Thought that was a nice thought. And there is another sink inside for cleaning up, because you always need that, and more gardening tools. The what is that called? The shovel and the pitchfork. And then that little wooden tub I assumed would be like the horse's water trough. I don't know. Again, I was using my imagination a little bit, and you'll see more of that come out when you see the screenshots, because I used a lot of Debug to make a little makeshift area. But here is another little look at our farm in live mode, just for about a minute and a half or so. As you can see, I changed the outside of the house a little bit. I added some corbels where the roof meets the top wall of the house, and I also added some vines and some more extra little things here and there that I thought of last minute. But that is it for today's build. So thank you so much for joining me here today, and if you like it, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, let me know what you think, and if you'd like to see more builds like this, or stay tuned for the last build of our installment of scenario homes, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!